Hi guys, welcome back to Darren's Recipe Rack. If you have some bananas on your counter that are looking a little too ripe, do not throw them away. Today we are turning them into the ultimate, most delicious banana cake you've ever tasted. The real secret here is using this kind of bananas that are overripe. That's where all the natural sweetness and intense flavor comes from. So let's get started. First things first, we are going to be peeling our ripe bananas and mashing them up. You can use a fork for this, or you can also use a potato masher. So I like to leave a few chunks of the bananas because it adds a bit of texture to the final cake, but mash them as smooth as you prefer. So I'm going to be putting all the measurements and ingredients I used in the description box. So I'm going to be adding in 2 eggs, 100 ml of oil, that's vegetable oil, but you can use any oil of your choice. Also, if you want, you can use melted butter or Prestige. So this is buttermilk. I showed you in one of my videos how to make it. So it's just milk plus just about a teaspoon of lemon. And so this is also optional. You can add yogurt instead of buttermilk, or you can even just add milk that is not buttermilk. But also note that it is not mandatory for you to add milk, buttermilk, or yogurt. You can exclude them. So just in case you want to use water instead of all these that I mentioned, go ahead and use your water. The cake will just become a bit lighter, but it will be okay. So the buttermilk gives your cake a high fluffy rise and also makes it tender. So I am sifting my flour because it is going to help me to get out all the clumps, and also it is going to help me not to overmix my butter at a certain point. So I'm adding a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder. They all have very important roles they play. And baking soda, among other roles, it plays the role of giving you like a very brown crust, and baking powder helps with the heavy lifting of the cake. So this is light brown sugar, and I'm adding it into my wet ingredients because I want it to dissolve. So I'm going to give you a tip on how you can avoid getting a gummy cake. Just ensure that you do not use so many bananas. If you have 2 bananas, they are enough. It depends on the size of your bananas. So for example, I'm using 250 grams of flour. My bananas should be around the same kind of weight, not more than 250 grams, right? So the second tip is, when you are mixing the wet and dry ingredients, ensure that you fold. Do not stir. Do not overmix that batter. So the moment you stop seeing the flour, then you stop folding. So I am already preheating my oven under 175 degrees Celsius for 12 minutes. After that, I'll be putting in my butter, and then we wait for the cake to get ready. Of course, when we are baking our cake, we shall use about an hour. So I'm done folding, and I'm going to be putting this into my baking pan. But first and foremost, I'm going to grease my pan with a bit of oil so that when I'm removing my cake, it comes out with ease. If you have a parchment paper, well and good. And before I forget, as usual, I want to recognize anyone that has come for the first time. Please ensure to subscribe, ensure to leave a comment. Let me know that you came to watch. If you've been here before, maybe it is your 2nd or 5th or 10th time, but you've never subscribed, we appreciate that you have come to support us. And I am reminding you to please subscribe so that you do not miss out on any video that I post. Otherwise, if you've subscribed, I am grateful, very, very grateful, and I can't wait to share more recipes with you. So our butter is ready to heat the oven. So let's wait and see what our final result will look like.